Hey guys, Surgeon here, and welcome to a new video. So I did a video like this one probably about a year ago, which was bosses that you should kill as a lower level. So this video is going to be targeted towards those in the mid-level, and I'm seeing mid-level is anywhere between 70 to 90 for your combat stats. Now that could be 70 to 90 melee, range, or magic. I'm using that as my definition of mid-level accounts. Now, as you guys will recall, about a week ago, I did a giveaway and I have gone ahead and already given away those 4 items. I've chosen those 4 winners. I only was able to find clips of one of them, even though I know I recorded all 4 of them. That's stuff on the back end. I know that I gave away all 4, and all those people will definitely vouch for it. I will be doing another giveaway in this video, and it's going to be along the same lines as the last giveaway. Basically what it'll be is I want you guys to leave a comment letting me know what was the first boss that you actually killed in RuneScape. So once you've left that comment, make sure you've gone ahead and subscribed to the channel. Make sure you like the video. And on top of that, also make sure that you follow me on Twitter. For me picking the giveaway winners, I will be picking 3 people from the comment section below, and then I will pick 1 random follower from Twitter. This will be done in about a week from the date of upload. So it will be uploading today on October 16th. So on October 23rd, I will go ahead and pick the winners. All right, that's enough from me. Hope you guys enjoy this video on what bosses to kill as a mid-level account. So to start off this video, we're going to talk about the Chaos Fanatic, who is arguably the easiest boss on this list of mid-level stuff. The requirements for him, not very high at all. Like, you really just need to be able to wield like a rune crossbow. Higher range will obviously make it a lot easier, but a decent range level will make it easy. You just need a rune crossbow at that. The gear is very welfare stuff. We are going into the wilderness, so you really just want to make sure you're only protecting 3 things. So like for me, I'm bringing my Anguish, I'm bringing my Coif, and I'm bringing my Archer's Ring, and if I put Protect Item on, I'll protect my Barrow's Gloves. Everything else I don't really care to lose. Make sure you don't bring a ton of ammo. And then the inventory is pretty similar as well. It's very, very minimal. You're having 1 prayer potion, you're having 3 ranging potions, a looting bag, and a games necklace. There are ways to get here without using a games necklace teleport, but to save the trouble and assuming that you don't have 80 something mage or whatever it takes to get here, we'll just go ahead and show you how to get there normally. So there's the inventory, and let's actually head over there and figure out how to kill him. So to get here, the easiest way would be to use a games necklace and teleport to the corporeal beast, and then from there you want to run to the southeast towards the wilderness altar, or the wilderness obelisk, whatever you want to call it. If you have the diaries to set your destination, then go ahead and set it to level 44 wilderness, as if you were going to the KBD. If not, you're going to want to try to teleport there, so it may take a couple tries, but if you have the set destination, you're going to want to use that. Once you're there, you're just going to want to run south, and you'll see a bunch of yellow dots that look like mini chaos pets, mini chaos elemental pets, and then the Chaos Fanatic will be right there. It's really easy to get there. So then once you're here, the fight is really easy. You put on Pray Magic, you drink your ranging potion, and you attack him. The only thing you really have to dodge are those green balls that you just saw me dodge. Once you dodge those, that's really the only thing you have to worry about. You can just camp Eagle Eye or Rigger or whatever and just hit him till he's dead. Dodge those things, and fight's really easy. It's a really simple fight. You do that, you rinse and repeat, and I'll show you what to do at the end of the fight. Alright, that's a pretty good drop to get the Ancient Staff, so as you can see, not a very difficult boss at all. Really just gotta dodge that green stuff. And then what you do is you just run south here once you're done with the kill. You run down south a little bit, and I believe it's right over here is the Chaos Altar. So then you just run in here. You probably freak somebody out by running in here. Pray at the altar. Yeah, that guy insta-logged. And then you run back out. And you run back over to the boss. And it's that easy. It's so simple. You use no resources for this besides ranging pots. And you just pot up again and you kill his ass. Super good. Super good. Alright, so the next boss we're going to do is the Crazy Archaeologist. It's another very simple demi-boss in the wilderness. Does not require very high stats. We're going to be using magic obviously for this. If you don't have a trident, you can obviously use Ivan's Staff. That works perfectly fine as well, but trident is definitely better. It is in the wilderness, so make sure you're maximizing your 3 weapon slots. So I'm using my trident, my occult, and my eternal boots. If I had a tormented bracelet, I would replace my eternal boots with the tormented bracelet because that increases my max hit. But again, that's all it is for the inventory. Very welfare gear here. You don't want to be risking a whole lot, kind of like we just did with the Chaos Fanatic. Then your inventory, you're going to have some prayer potions in there and some food, and obviously teleports to get away. So to get there, we're going to be doing about the same thing we did to get to the Chaos Fanatics. You're going to teleport to Court Beast, go to the Obelisk. But instead of going to 44 Wilderness, instead we're going to go to level 27 Wilderness. And then once you're at level 27 Wilderness, you're basically going to run to the southwest. You can see on the mini-map there's a bunch of ruins, and that's what you're going to be looking for, and the Chaos Fanatic is right in there. As you approach the ruins, make sure to have Pray Range on, because that's what you're going to be praying against. And if you don't have it on, he can start hitting you a lot. So just make sure when you enter those ruins that you have your Pray Range on. Now, like I just said, he does have that Rain of Knowledge, so attack him from a range. See, there it is. Then what you want to do is run away. The books do bounce when they hit, so you want to run farther away than you think you need to, because they will bounce and hurt you. Alright, so we will do a full kill when this guy respawns. So let's start this up again. Alright, buddy, you and me. There's a Rain of Knowledge. Run away, run away. Attack him again. Again, the only thing you're worried about is one, your prayer, being that you have it up, and two, being the Rain of Knowledge. You take care of that, and this fight is incredibly easy. Run away. And he's dead. Like, literally, it's that easy. And look, an Amulet of Power. How nice. Alright, next boss we'll talk about will be Zora. Now, I know you may complain and say that, oh, Zora isn't a mid-level boss, he's hard. Well, I mean, in actuality, you just need 75 magic and range, and that's not even, like, maybe a tenth of the way through the skill. So, I would consider it to be a mid-level boss. I've already done a guide on Zora, like a full in-depth guide, and I'll have that link down in the description for you guys as well if you need to check it out. But Zora, you can easily, once you learn the patterns, you can easily make a lot of money here very quickly. It's how I made a lot of money as a mid-level account as well, to kind of propel my account into the late game. As you see, like, I've got some gear that you probably won't have if you are a true mid-level account, but you can obviously downscale it. So your Armadillo could be like Carol's or Blessed D'hide. Your Eternal Boots could easily be like Infinities. You don't need the Imbued Heart. There could be a Magic Potion. Like, all this stuff can be downgraded. But I'm not going to bore you with that. If you want to really figure all that stuff out or really learn about it more, you can go ahead and look at the guide that I have it linked in my description. And I'm going to show you guys just a test kill and kind of walk you guys through the main steps of what I'm doing. Okay, so there are multiple ways to get to Zora, but hands down the easiest way is by use of Fairy Ring. The Fairy Ring code BJS is the easiest way to get there. I'm thankful to have one in my house to make this incredibly easy, and you do need 76 agility to use this. This can be boosted obviously with a Summer Pie, so if you do not have that level but you're within 5 levels, then I would highly recommend doing this. If not, you'll have to use like Port Tiras or a Zolandra teleport or something like that. Once you're here, you obviously just going to go in and fight the boss, figure out the rotation, kill the boss until it dies, and then you pick up your loot, and if you have enough supplies to go again, you go again. If you don't, then you TP out, and yeah, that's that. And Zora, I believe, can make upwards of around 2 mil an hour if you're incredibly lucky and you have very high gear. Now, if you're a mid-level account, I wouldn't expect to make around 2 mil. Making around 1 mil an hour is very doable. If you have a Trident and a Blowpipe, it is very doable with 75 stats. So you could consider this being like a 1 mil an hour moneymaker, and definitely something I would recommend learning to help boost your account and gain some, much needed money to help propel you into the later game of, RuneScape. And yeah, there's a kill, and there's your loot. And if you got enough supplies, then you just hit this, and you go back and do it again. Or if you're done, then you tele out. And yeah, that's Zora. Super good money. Super good money once you learn how to do it. And follow my guide, which will help you get there. Alright, so next is footage of 2 bosses from the God Wars dungeon. But in reality, you could do any of the God Wars if you have the stats required to go to them. And what I mean by that is, like, if you have 70 range for Armadillo, you have 70 HP for Zami, 70 strength for Bandos, and 70 agility for Sarah. I have footage of both me soloing Bandos and Saradomin, but if you're going to go do this as a mid-level, you really want to go with a team of at least one other person, like one other higher level. If you can get a trio going and you have like, 80 stats, 80 combat stats, you're probably Gucci. You're probably good at that point. But I'm just showing you a very basic gear setup right now. If you are going to like Bandos or Zami, what you want to be doing is really maximizing your strength bonus, because you're going to be something called an attacker, and what an attacker does is exactly what it sounds like. You are mainly focused on trying to kill the boss as fast as possible, whereas a tank will be trying to absorb the damage from the main boss, being either Krill, Kriara, Zileana. Well, Zileana doesn't really have a tank, or Gridor. And so you'll want to use like a defender, you'll want some kind of magic top, you'll want a melee bottom. Tacits, if you're an attacker, is great, but if you don't, which you probably don't, Varrock's plate skirt is fantastic. Spec weapons, if you have a BGS or a D Warhammer, bring that. If not, Crystal Halberd is awesome. If you don't have any of that, then DDS, sure, why not? Gear is pretty stock standard here, though. Keep in mind that whatever boss you're going to, you will need some god items. So if you're going to Bandos, you're going to want Zami and Bandos. If you're going to Zami, then you just need Zami. If you are going to Saradomin, you want Zami and Saradomin. If you are going to Armadale, I believe you want Saradomin and Armadale. Could be Armadale and Saradomin, but I believe it's Armadale and Saradomin, not Armadale and Zami. And then the supply as an attacker, if you are going as an attacker, is pretty easy. It's literally just some super combat, some prayer restore, and some brews, just to panic eat in case. One-click teleports, all that fun stuff. And then head over to the God Wars and start getting your KC. If you're doing like Bandos or Zami, you'll want to get KC. If you're doing something like Saradomin, which I show later, you're going to want to have an ecumenical key from the Wilderness God Wars dungeon. That way you can skip the kill count, because the kill count for both Armadale and Saradomin are both incredibly long, whereas for Bandos and Zami, it is incredibly short. So I'd highly recommend getting ecumenical keys for those two bosses if you're going to go. But keep in mind that you guys don't want to be soloing. I know that this footage is of me soloing, but I couldn't be asked to gather a team and go boss for like 2 hours just to get like a 10-minute clip. I was like, I'll just go solo it. It'll be fine. You'll see that I almost died to Bandos. It's pretty funny. But enough of my dying to Bandos and that being really funny. Saradomin, I'm going to go over a few things that you don't really go over when you cover Bandos. Obviously, you need 70 agility. If you're going to Saradomin for the first time, you do need to have 2 ropes with you so you can put them down. You will need, like I said, a Saradomin IM and a Zamorak item. If you're using an ecumenical key with like me, you can get away with just having a Saradomin item. But if you are getting killed at count, please have a Zamorak item as well. They will aggro on you and it will suck. You can use melee, but really it's not that recommended with how strong ranged is in this game right now. I would highly recommend having ranged. You see that I have like full Armadale. Obviously, you don't need that. If you have Blessed Ehide, that's obviously great. If you have Carols, it's great. Blessed Ehide is great because it's not only good armor, but it also counts as a god item as well. For your shield, if you've got like an ODM ward or a Twisted Buckler, dope. I have DFS, and that's just the best shield I really got right now, because I don't want to bring a Book of Law, because that gives you like absolutely nothing in terms of defense, and you kind of want defenses in here. There is no tank really. It's different in that way. Like Armadale and Saradomin are different in that there is no real main tank. You're just going to be running around the room, and I will show you that when I do my kill. Your setup, your inventory is really just going to be brews and restores. You'll have some ranging potions in there as well, but what makes Saradomin unique is that you're also going to have some stamina potions, because you are running around the room the entire time. So make sure you've got the stamina potions in there as well. You'll thank me later. Again, talking about my gear, I know I have an Anguish equipped. You don't need it. I'm telling you, you don't need it. You can have a Fury. It's fine. You can have a Glory. It's fine. You can not have an Archery ring. You can just have a Dueling ring. That's fine, too. Like, you're going with a team. You're going with some buddies. You're going with, like, 3 people. Like, Saradomin is hands down, like, one of the easiest bosses to do in there, because you don't really take any damage from the main boss once you're doing it right. So you don't need this stuff. What I have right now is really overkill, but it's really just to make sure I can do it. So you're going to get there the same way that you normally would when you go to like I just explained, when you go to like Gridor. Make sure you got your ecumenical key, because the kill count will take you fucking ages. So make sure you've got that. And then I will be back to show you guys what it is to actually kill the boss. Alright, so something that you're going to see is that my run energy is full. I waited here until my run energy came back up. What you're going to do is basically make sure you're at full health, make sure you're brewed up. Then you're going to want to restore, do your ranging potion, all of that. Drink a stamina dose. I haven't done this boss in forever and I forget to do that and I regret it later. What you want to do is make sure that both the melee and Sarah are on the other side of the room when you enter. So the unicorn and the boss, you want to make sure they're far away from the door so you don't just get one banged as soon as you enter, because that would suck. And then what you're going to do is you're going to attack Zileana and then you're going to run away. And this is all you do the entire fight, is you literally attack and you run away. You run to each corner, you try to run before she hits you. Again, I haven't done this in a while and I'm pretty trash at it, but zoom out a little bit, it'll help you a lot as well. And you'll just do this the entire fight, and this is all you do. You can have it on rapid. I switched it to long range because I'm a degenerate and don't remember. But keep it on rapid, you're fine. And then once you end up killing Zileana, what you'll do is you'll take out your blowpipe and you'll finish off the minions. And then you will get ready for the next fight and continue doing it. Now, I'm taking a lot of damage from all the minions, but ideally you won't take any damage from Sarah. You'll only be taking damage from the ranger, because obviously the melee minion is away from you. So with having the DFS equipped, it's going to help a lot with negating some of that range attack that's going to be coming your way. But yeah, this is all the boss is. It's a very simple boss. You get a team of a couple other people. The only difference when you do team is that Saradomin will change aggro. So you see how she's like permanently following me? Well, when you're in a team, that aggro will switch, and she will occasionally switch to someone else, and then that person will need to kite her around the room as I am right now. So that's really the difference between soloing and a team, but again, very easy boss. Armadale is also very simple as well. It's actually much more simple than this. You just take more damage, but Armadale, you pretty much just sit in a corner and range him the entire time. It's very simple. Find some friends, go out and have some fun, get lucky, get a couple drops, maybe even get a pet. Who knows? So the final boss on our list is going to be the KQ. Now KQ is hands down the most difficult boss on this list, and not because of mechanics, but simply because she just hits a lot. I don't care what level you are, she just hurts. So some basic gear setup. I obviously have like very high level gear, but if you are on a Slayer task, you will be wanting to use a Slayer helmet because, well, it does do a lot of extra damage. And if you're on a Slayer task, you obviously can't use full Varrox, so you will want to be using something like a strength bonus setup, so like, you know, the spider torso and D legs, or you'll want to be using something like, you know, tank gear as well, something to kind of increase your melee, as well as bringing your range switch as well. Make sure that when you're using these items though for your melee setup, you want to be using something that has a high crush bonus, so something like a Zamihasta, a Godsword, a Bludgeon. You want to make sure you're using that because she has a significant weakness to crush on her first phase. For spec weapons, if you have a D Warhammer or a BGS, bring that because it's going to help you tremendously throughout the fight. If you don't, SGS was always a good option, and then above all that, you can bring like a Crystal Halberd or something if you really want to. But honestly, like, this boss is just going to hurt quite a bit. I'm not going to go too much into the actual setups because this isn't a full-on guide. But basically, if you are doing this off task, then full Varrox is always a good option because it does hit through her prayers and it does hit through her high defenses as well. Your range setup, you're going to want to bring Armadale, obviously, if you can. If not, you can bring like D-Hide or Carol's. I'd recommend Carol's just for the extra defenses. One setup I don't show you here, but you can definitely do it if you're, how do I put this? If you're a glutton for punishment, I like to call it the glass cannon build, and I did this build for a little bit when I was going for my KQ head. Basically, you go in full Elite Void, you go in Elite Void melee with a bludgeon, and then you bring a range helm switch, and it does a lot of damage at the cost of having the chance to be hit very hard and very frequently. So I call it glass cannon for the obvious reason that you have very low defenses, so if you get very lucky and you don't get hit a lot, you're going to pump out a lot of fucking damage. But if you get hit, like, it cascades so quickly, so I would never recommend doing it. But if you're looking to have fun, try out the glass cannon build at KQ. It's definitely fun. Now let's move into actually setting up the inventory and moving on to killing the boss. So for your inventory, you're going to do this little trick, and what it's going to do is going to save you basically a few extra inventory slots. Because the travel distance to KQ is not that long, what you're going to do is actually pot up at the bank. So drink your super combat, your ranging potion, your antidote, and your stamina potion, and then bank those and withdraw 4 more sharks. Now, if you look at my inventory, if you've never been to KQ before, you will need to bring 2 ropes. Also, if you've never done the Desert Elites, you'll need to bring 2 ropes every time you come here. Now, the easiest way to get there is to use a fairy ring, so I have one in my house, so I'm going to use that. And then the fairy ring code is BIQ, so you're going to use that, and then run over to the cave. Now, once you're inside the cave, there is a shortcut you can use, but it does require the completion of the Desert Elite Diaries for you to use. If you do not have that completed, then you will need to run around the entire caves, which is also why you drank the stamina before. So now you're here, what you're going to want to do is look inside. First, make sure there's no one inside, and if there isn't, use your rope and climb down, and you're going to run to the western side of this area where you will find the KQ. Make sure you have Praying Mage on when you attack her for the melee phase, and then go to town on her. Now, something here that you're going to want to pay attention to is this is where you will want to use like a BGS or a spec. Pretty much this is where if you brought a spec weapon, you're going to want to use it is on this phase because you want to get her to the range phase as fast as possible. What you'll see me do is that as I get hit, you want to walk under her. The reason is that when you're eating, you're not attacking, and so she's getting free damage off on you. So if you walk under her, she cannot hit you, and it's a lot easier for you to like leverage the playing field because she's just not getting free damage on you, and you can even the playing field that way. Alright, so phase 2, walk under the corpse, equip all your range gear, turn on Prey Range, and then put on Eagle Eye, Rigor, whatever you've got, and then try to stand as close to the western wall as possible, or just a wall that separates you and the worker, so that way you're not taking free damage. Again, you're going to be doing the same thing here. You're going to want to range. You're going to want to use, if you don't have a special, use your special attack here. Walk under her when you need to eat. That way she doesn't get free damage off on you, because she will hit like a tank. As you can see, I have fairly high stats, and I still get wrecked by this. I know people who still have to do 2 trips. If you have a BGS or D1 hammer, this does get a lot easier. But again, you can solo this boss. It's not exactly optimal because it does take a lot, and usually it's only good if you're on Slayer task. But again, you are more than welcome to solo this for the chance of getting like a Jar Sand, a KQ head, a D2H, a D-chain, supplies drops, all that fun stuff. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully it gives you guys some ideas if you're kind of in that 70 to 90 combat range on what bosses you should go out there and kill. So again, hopefully I sparked your interest in that. If I did, make sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you want to see more content from the channel. And if you really want to just bash me and just, let my ass have it, that's what the comment section is for. Links to all my socials will be in the description. So like my CC, Discord, Twitch, Twitter, all that in the description. And I'm not going to take any more of your guys' time because this video is already long enough. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great night, morning, evening, whatever. And I'll see you guys in the next video.